Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. This is Bookish Artist Mandy and I'm coming at you today with my TWSBI Eco collection, August 2025. So go ahead and grab your drink. I'm drinking my coffee with all the cream. And sit back and we'll talk about my love for TWSBI Ecos. Here we go. So let's start with my history with TWSBI Ecos, and that needs to talk about my history with fountain pens in general. So I've talked a few times on my channel about my history with fountain pens. I am still, I think, fairly a newbie who is just experimenting and discovering what I like in fountain pens. And I have also found that on this journey that changes quite frequently, as I'm sure many of you who are in the fountain pen hobby and community are aware that our likes and dislikes do change quite often. So that's kind of the beginning, is that like my likes and dislikes, I wasn't sure because I didn't really know that much about it. But when I get into a hobby, I fixate on the hobby and I have to learn everything about it. Hello to ADHD. That is something, but it's just also really, there is so much in this hobby that makes it really fun to learn. So on Instagram, I was watching a woman who did all these really cool watercolors, and I cannot for the life of me remember her account. I wish I could, but I can't. So unfortunately, I can't find it, but she used Rover and Klingner's sketch ink, which is a pigment document ink, and she used Lamy Safaris. So that is what I started with. I got one Lamy Safari off of, I'm sure, Amazon or somewhere of the likes, and a bottle of Rover and Klingner's sketch ink. I got it in what I thought was the black. It's actually like the dark green, gray, brown, but it's opened my eyes to something that I had never seen before. I'm really hard on pigment or like fine liners, really hard on them. And I had Pigma Micron fine liners because I loved to line my artwork with black lines or whatever color it is, because I really do like to change my line art up. And so that was why I went this route, because it opened my eyes to the fact that I could just refill something that had a steel nib that wasn't going to be treated poorly by me, or it was going to be treated poorly, but that it was going to work for what I needed. So I loved this idea. Well, I didn't love the Lamy Safari, so I started going down the rabbit hole, and I'm sure you all have been there or are just getting there. I went down the rabbit hole of other fountain pens, and at this time, I was already having a hard time spending the money on a Lamy Safari, and so I wasn't sure what else to get, because there isn't really a lot, or at least back then, even there's way more now than there were then. Weren't a lot of choices and options for low budget fountain pens, and people kept saying TWSBI Eco, TWSBI Eco, and I had ordered from Atlas Stationers some Blackwing pencils because I wanted the red and blue. And I, on a whim, ordered this beauty. Now I am going to pull it out and show you. And this is this one. So this was my very first TWSBI Eco. Actually, so the cap is my very first TWSBI Eco. Oops. Okay, well, anyway, regardless, the transparent was my very first TWSBI Eco. So that one right there. Okay, so I did find that I had swapped the caps on these. For some reason, they had mismatched caps. That's okay. So yes, I do have the eggplant. So this one right here, the full body, this one was my very first TWSBI Eco. And if you look at it, it is a lot scratched up because this one has been put through the ringer. I tell you what, I had sketch ink in this for 6 months left alone because I go through phases in my art, and this one still works beautifully. So I've had this years and years now. 3, I think. I think I'm on my year 3 of the fountain pen hobby, and so this one was my very first, and it still works like a dream. I went with a medium nib for my first one, and now this one has, I don't know what this one has. This one might not have a medium in it. Let me pull it out. This one has a fine. I do switch out my nibs quite often. My one biggest gripe on TWSBI's is that their nib size is right underneath the lip. So then I always have to pull it out to figure out what it is. But I want to say this was my first one. Now the rest of them won't be in any order, but this was my number 1. And I wanted to say number 1 is my transparent Eco. Purple. Whoops, forgot to put purple. And right now it's with a fine nib. And this has roller, and funny enough, roller and Klingner's, but not a sketch ink, Sulfurino. So I will use Sulfurino until it's emptied, and I will refill this back up. So that is the first one. And I wanted to start with just one to show you that, you know, this is what started it all. And this actually is really what started it all in the hobby, because then when I discovered this, I discovered inks and the fact that there are so many inks out there. And so this is really my gateway into fountain pens. And so it holds a really special place in my heart, and I still use it quite frequently. And what I love about TWSBI's so much is that, yes, not this one, but a couple, I have so many TWSBI's, and you'll see that. I have had a couple that have broken, but it's just been little tiny things, like one crack here, one crack there, and I have reached out to TWSBI, and just for shipping, they replace it. They've replaced full bodies of 2 of my pens, and they've replaced the nibs and the feeds a couple times. Honestly, I think 5 times total is what I've had to reach out to TWSBI for. Even once I got a nib that wasn't good right away, and I reached out to them, and they took care of it. So I don't have any problems with their units. People do complain about cracking. I've only had it happen once or twice. So that is something that I do see, but with the amount of pens I have in TWSBI's, and I'm really hard on them, I literally pull them apart and take them apart and franken them all the time. I would expect more crackage if it really was a serious issue, at least for me. But that's just on me. I'm very hard on these pens. These are pens that I just literally throw in my purse. So that is a little bit of backstory. So let's get into my collection. I'm very excited. Okay, so this right here is where all of my TWSBI Ecos, for the most part, there are a few that don't fit in here, but for the most part, these are the TWSBI Ecos that I have set up in a pen case that are always inked. So if I know that I'm running somewhere fast and I just want to throw a pen case in a backpack, and I know I'm traveling, this, yes, would probably equate to a loss if I lost this entire thing. I don't foresee myself losing it because it's usually on my person. But this is 24, so there are 24 spaces in this. I found this on Amazon, and I really am enjoying it. So I'm going to open this bad boy up, and we are going to start looking at all of them. And since they're all inked, I'm going to show you what I have them inked with right now. So they are inked right now, but that doesn't mean that they stay inked with these specific colors. And we are going to start with the white one, which means I need to pull out a special notebook for my white one. And I'm going to set them over to the side, because you can see I did have them in rainbow order because I'm kind of a crazy girl for that. So now I'm going to put this one in here. This is my Starry Night notebook by Scribbles That Matter. It is a blackout notebook, and this is my white TWSBI. When I first got this TWSBI, I got this with a medium nib, and I have since switched it to a broad just because this seems to work better with the Sailor Marshmallow ink. This is a Sailor Dip ink. I forget what it's called. A Sailor Dip ink. It's meant for dip pens only, but it works really well on white paper. It is this, and the bottle already from filling my Eco the first time is right here. So it's only at 20 milliliters, but this was an experiment. This is a dip pen, and it is, you can see there's a lot of pigment. It's meant for dip pens. It's not meant for fountain pens. It even says that on there, but I have had this in there. I think it's a little over a month. I made a video on putting it in there, and I was going to make a video on cleaning it, but I still have, when I twist it up, I still have this much ink in it, and so I don't want to do a video until I have finished it. So cleaning it out may be a little bit messy, but I take my water, and I have some here. You can see the white on the side. I take it when it isn't working, and I just dip it like any other pigment ink. So I have not had any problems, and it's working great for my art to go over things, and this is working fantastic. And this is in Marshmallow Creamy. And I'm trying to decide the next one I'm getting, because I am going to get another TWSBI Eco for this. And because I love being able to have this dedicated. It works so much better than any gel pen or any other white pen, Posca marker, whatever, that I've ever used for artwork before. And so I'm very excited. So yeah, and I use this quite frequently. This is my TWSBI Eco broad, but I did move a broad nib in here. So I would, if you're going to do the dipped in ink, I would definitely say go broad or medium. I moved to a broad just because I wanted the broad line. The medium was working, but I did have to dip it just a little bit more. And then this is the white one. So this is the only one that's not going to go on here because I can't. But you can see, I did want to say, so for those who have been waiting for an update, it's still working great, and it cleans off this part really well. So I know that when I take apart the pen, it's going to clean just fine, but I don't want to clean it right now because I'm still using it. So yeah, there's that. And it's, just look at that. That's awesome. Sorry, I'm so excited. I'm not sorry. I'm so excited about it. It just still makes me really happy. This is one of those things that was an experiment, and I'm very glad that I did it. So that is pen number 2. Caveat, I just want to say these are not in acquisition date order because I have no idea which one I acquired, because I acquire them pretty much every time they release. And this one is my TWSBI Pink. Now this one I had to find on AliExpress because I really wanted a pink one. And I am very happy. But on AliExpress, they only have extra fine and medium, or extra fine and fine. And I find the ones on AliExpress to be super fine. So I have swapped this nib, and this is a broad nib too. So this is pink. I think they just call it pink. Pink TWSBI Eco. In a broad. And this is Anderillium's Rosy Maple Moth Pink. This one was from a wonderful pen friend. This was a sample. This is all that I have left. And then I'm going to decide if I want a bottle. So I'm pretty sure I want a bottle, but I'm trying to be good and using what I have first. And so yeah, this one, I do tend to, with my TWSBIs, also be matchy, kind of. Sometimes, most of the time, I'm pretty matchy with them. But yeah, this one is my pink one. And I really just love this pink. I want the pastel pink so badly, so badly. And the, is it lilac one that's not glow purple, but it's actually like solid here? Want them. But I cannot find them, and I don't want to spend the crazy amounts because this one was 40 when I got it, so I can only imagine what it is now. Because that was a while ago that I got that one, and yeah, it's but I really love pink, and they've been coming out with browns and blues and very not pink. I want pink. Come on, TWSBI, if you can hear me, make a pink one next, please, 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 please. But I do have the affogato one coming to me, and that's the diamond. So I'm really excited about that one too. All right, my next Eco is actually an Eco T, which I don't notice that much difference. The grip section is a little different, and I have the because it's got like a triangular, and this is kind of triangular. I don't really pay that much attention because they are the same pen, pretty much to me. And this one is in Porto Rosso. It's like the one bright red they have for an Eco. And this one has its original nib. And this is a medium. I also will say that I find their nibs aren't always the same and aren't always medium, aren't always fine. They run weird. I don't know. And this is Diamine Winterberry from Diamine Inkvent 24. So I guess I'll put Inkvent. I know other people put Inkvent. I just put Diamine normally, but this is the one, Winterberry. And this is a really lovely red with a really pretty red shimmer. I don't know if it's one that I will get a full bottle of when it's done, but I am using it and I do like it. I have had, in the past, I've had Dracula by Wearing Ghoul in here. And if I finish this before October, that's probably what will go back in here. But I do like the red. It's one that I don't reach for as often as others, but I do like it. All right, this one is my TWSBI Eco in Heat. And this one actually has the extra fine nib of another one. And I can't remember which one it was. But it has a really nice wet extra fine. Because I have bought a couple of the Goes, the $18 TWSBIs, to replace nibs that I just don't like. Because I got a couple extra fines. I don't really like extra fine nibs, so I don't have many. Yeah, don't be like me if you don't want to be, but I find if I don't like the nib, it's because I don't have any problems with the extra fine nib. Like there's nothing wrong with them. I just don't like them. So I bought a cheaper pen instead of buying another one of these because I was buying multiples. I have two of the eggplant and two of the transparent purples, and I don't need two of the same one. So to get the nibs and everything. So I would not suggest that, but that is just that is what I did. I haven't done it in a long time, but I just wanted to caveat that and say yes, I've gotten their other ones. They're like Goes, and I don't like the feel of them. I do like the swipes. I just discovered those, but I don't like those. And this is Diamine's Ancient Copper. I did put this in just a few weeks ago, and I haven't really used it much. Again, the extra fine, I don't love it. It's just not me. Like it's not a size that I love. So it's good. It's good that I've learned that about myself, and they come in handy only when I'm sketching. So that's why it has Ancient Copper in it, because I do like to sketch with Ancient Copper. All right, another Eco T, and this one's in Saffron. And I really love this one because it's very close to like an ochre yellow. And I would love them to come out with a more muted or darker mustard as well. Oh, that would be so exciting. And this one has a medium nib. Yep, medium nib. And it is, again, it's regular nib that it came with. And this is with Monteverde's Lion, which I absolutely love these yellow inks that are almost golden. I have been digging them this year. And this one is halfway gone. And then I think what I'm going to put in it is Robert Oster's Honeybee, just because I have been liking Honeybee a lot and it's almost empty in my Kaveco. So then I think they'll kind of match out and that will be really great. My next one is my transparent yellow. And this one has another extra fine. So I do have a couple. It's not one that I reach for very often, but I do like this ink. This is Ostrich's Ostrich Ink Smoke Mousse, which is fun. And this is transparent yellow Eco with an extra fine. Yeah. And I have been getting into extra fine lately. I don't know, maybe I'm hitting my extra fine era. Probably not. But that that point in the year where sometimes I do want an extra fine more than I usually do. So it might be one that I pull out every once in a while, but I do like this ink. It's really weird, this Ostrich Mocha Mousse. And so I did want to put it in an Eco. So it's just kind of been there. And what I don't know if I've mentioned this, the biggest thing that I love about Ecos is that these inks can be in there for months and not evaporate, which is why I love them so much, because this is almost like, these are like my markery art ones that I pull out to do art with. Or like if I want like an artsy spread in my creative journal, that's what these come out for. All right, my next one is my TWSBI Eco Glow. And this one is with one of the very few stub nibs I have right now. I don't remember where the stub nib came from, but I do remember because the glow green and the glow purple were both my second order of TWSBIs, and I got one in an extra fine and one in a fine, and they don't have those anymore because I like them so much, but I don't like that. So this is my glow green TWSBI Eco. And the jury is out on whether or not I like stubs. Like, I like mini stubs, but I'm not sure if I like Eco stubs, the 1.1. So this one does get used more often than not. It is getting close. It is halfway emptied. And this is Sailor Shikiori's Sasabune. So if you haven't seen that in my currently inked, but saw when I inked it, that's why, because I haven't done a TWSBI currently inked in a long time. So because they last forever, they don't really get currently inked unless I'm picking one that goes with the color scheme for the week. But yeah, so this one's had Sasabune in it since I got it. And so it is a lovely, lovely green that is muted, but still has some bit of brightness to it. It's so hard to explain because it's not like Lennon Toolbar's Ghost Plant where it's very, very much so almost a gray. It has a gray undertone to it, but it's still green, like the glow. And I love that. So that's why I picked that one, and that's why it's in this. I don't know if that's what I will stick with. I like to switch up my inks, and I do have so many inks that it's nice to switch them up after I've filled them, because these are they 2 or 3 milliliter clip capacities? I cannot remember. I think it's only 2, but it lasts a long time. So then I get kind of like, all right, I want another ink. All right, the next one is my Matcha. And I know I refilled this with something, and I cannot remember. I will remember when I write with it. Oh, yeah. Ha 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 ha. How about Lennon Toolbar's Ghost Plant? Maybe? No, this is not Lennon Toolbar's Ghost Plant. This is, okay, so this is my Matcha TWSBI, because I put Linen Toolbar's Ghost Plant in my Ghost Green from Myers Penco. So this is TWSBI Eco, and this is a fine nib. I actually, the last few TWSBI Ecos I've gotten have been fine nibs because I really found that I enjoy having a couple fine nibs. This is Pannonia's, and I cannot pronounce this. It's Zuzmo, so I call it Zuzmo, but it's really similar to Ghost Plant, where it's that soft green, but it's got more shading. It kind of shades to an orange. It's different than Amamoyoi, but it's also kind of in those same families. So it's between Ghost Plant and Amamoyoi, and so I'm really enjoying that. I haven't used it as much as I've used other ones, but it's in there. It's full. I like this one. I do love this color. This color has really grown on me. I know that when I first got it, I would have loved to have like bronze or rose gold hardware, but I actually really in my normal collection like this, and that it is one of the normal colors. So it has warmed up to me, especially because the bronze hardware and the rose gold hardware and the black hardware is an extra premium price. This one always trips me up. It's one that's been in my collection for a long time, and I always forget its name, and I haven't since I finally remembered it. This one is Persian Green. And now I've looked up Persian Green, and I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense, but I didn't know what that was, and so I always want to call this one just a turquoise or teal, and or even, I don't know, even something else besides Persian. I think I've called it jade green a few times, but that's not what it is. It's Persian green. And this one's another broad baby. I think we're going to find out, because I don't know. I used to know what I had the most of, but I don't know anymore. And when I re-inked this last, I wanted to see the difference between Wearing Ghouls Beneath the Wheel, the actual version, versus my swap or my ink sample from Van Ness. So this is the actual Wearing Ghoul Beneath the Wheel, which is a lovely color. It isn't the color I thought it was going to be when I bought a full bottle, but I do really love this color. And it is, I have used it quite a bit. And now broad nibs obviously take up a little bit more, but to see, yeah, it goes up quite a bit before it's emptied. So yeah, it's always fun to see that ink sloshing around in there. I just love that. Demonstrator pens are so cool, especially like my TWSBIs. They're my pride and joy. I tell you what, I get so excited when a new one comes out. I do stalk TWSBI's Instagram so I can see what the next one is and decide if I'm going to get it right away or if I'm going to wait on it for a couple months. So yes, that is something I do. This next one is one of my favorites. This one has a fine nib. This is the Amazonite. It is the smoothest fine nib I have in my collection. I love this one. I will not switch out the nib with any of the other ones because I love this. This one is just perfection. And this one is right now currently inked with Wearing Ghouls Resurrection. Now I get Wearing Ghouls Resurrection mixed up with my Aurora Borealis, but I put Aurora Borealis in a different one, so I know that this one is Resurrection. It is a very light ink, but it is so pretty. I do like it a lot. I don't remember. I think I just got, there was a sale somewhere where I had some credit or something, and I just decided to pick up a bottle of Resurrection. I don't know why, but I'm very glad that I did because it is a lovely color. Oh, is there two S's or just two R's? I'm going to look it up because that's going to drive me nuts if I spell that wrong. Sometimes I should go with my gut. It is one. Okay. That is the one thing in spelling that I have troubles with, is like the double letters sometimes. Sometimes. I'm actually a pretty good speller most of the time, but my brain sometimes processes too fast and then I can't think fast enough. You know, people problems. But yeah, this is a lovely pale blue, and I think it looks really great with Amazonite. If I could swatch the two, I probably would put Resurrection in my other one and put Aurora Borealis in this one, but they work. All right, here's the next one, and this is the one that has Aurora Borealis in it, and it is my mint green one. And you can see how close Aurora Borealis and uh, Resurrection are, but Aurora Borealis, where Resurrection has just the one shade and one tone, Aurora Borealis has chroma shades, so it shades different colors, and I really like that. So this is probably one of my favorite inks right now, and so I have refilled this over and over because it wasn't full, but it wasn't empty, so I would just keep going because I was trying to see if I really wanted to use it to decide if I needed to get a bottle, and I did end up getting a bottle, but it's only a 15 milliliter bottle, so I won't have it forever, but that's okay. I'm starting to get more okay with not having full bottles of everything, but I'm not there yet. I'm not there. I just love, if you can't tell, I love color. So it's very hard, but it's one of those things that is my favorite thing in the hobby, is the colors and the availability and the way that inks work. They're just so fascinating, and how they work in different pens. Oh, okay. So there's that one. My mint green. I really like this one. This one I held off on for a very long time. Oh, and this is an Eco T. I didn't realize the mint green was an Eco T. Okay. Yeah. See, I do not notice much of a difference between the Eco and the Eco T, because I know that when you look at them, I'll pull this one. No, that's another Eco T. Okay. They're different. You can see that this has 3 sides where this one has 5 sides, but I don't notice much of a difference in them, at least for myself. I really don't. That's why I just kind of have them all together. I wonder if other people do. Let me know if you are a big TWSBI person, if you notice the difference between the Eco and the Eco T. I'll say I notice the difference between a diamond and an Eco, but not an Eco T. My next one is the sky blue. And so the sky blue is one that really surprised me. And this one is a fine nib as well. We are getting into my fine nib section. Yeah, the Amazonite Eco made it so I wanted more fine nibs. So when I got my next couple, I got them in the fine nib. So when this TWSBI Eco first came out, I said, I'm not interested. And I sat and looked at it for months and months and months, and I still wasn't really interested. And then for some reason, one day, I decided, well, I need another Eco, is basically what it came down to. I had another color I wanted to use, and I wanted it in a fine, and so I just ordered it. And this blue is so stunning. I'm mad at myself. Well, I'm not mad anymore, but I was mad at myself that I waited so long to get it, because I do really like this one. It is lovely. This one came with me to San Diego when I went on that trip, and this ink has been in there since San Diego. It has not evaporated. I have used it that much, but because the fine nibs take a while, it's just taken a lot longer to use it, but I use it quite often. I just used it yesterday, I believe, for a nice little writing session. All right, my next one is my Sapphire Blue. And when this first came out, I had to have it right away. And I did get this one in an extra fine, because I think this was one of the few extra fine. I go through phases. where I wanted an extra fine, and I do love this extra fine nib. This one works really well, and it is the one that came on it. So, and this is my Sapphire TWSBI Eco. Yeah, it came out at a time, gosh, what was it, last year? It came out at a time when I was really in love with this color Indanthrone blue, and I'm still in love with it. It's one of my favorite dark blues. And so I got this, and for a long time I had Shinkai in this, but now, right now, I have Rohrer and Klingner's Blue Eyed Mary in this pretty much all the time because I absolutely love Blue Eyed Mary. It was their 2024 special edition, and I loved it so much that before 2024 was up, I ended up buying 3 bottles. And I have found a couple really similar inks. So I have 2 videos right now where I'm going to do dupes. So be on the lookout for those. They are coming. I had to kind of switch up my plans this week due to my tooth removal surgery. So that one was going to be here this week, but it is not. So just so you know, because I have Day to Night by Coffee Monsters Co. and Robert Oster, and this Rohrer and Klingner, because I know there are 2 inks that people really like, and I have found some that are really close. So just be on the lookout for that. I will have that for you soon. My next one is my Glow Purple. I love this one. I do. I love, well, because I love purple, but it right now has Diamine's Forever ink in Smoky Mauve. I haven't used it in a couple weeks, and that Smoky Mauve is actually changing colors. And I don't know if that's because of the nib or what, because I have switched out this nib on here multiple times because I have wanted different nibs. Right now it's a medium. Oh, well, Diamine Forever Smoky Mauve is going to be the first line. And this is my Glow Purple. So when I first got these glow colors, I wanted to write glow as GLO. I don't know why, but I did. And so for a long time, I wrote that GLO. And so it's kind of funny. But yeah, I think that I may, at the end of this video, clean this out just so we can see how Diamine Forever ink cleans out of a TWSBI Eco. I have only really put Diamine Forever in TWSBI Ecos. I did have it in another pen, but where I like to have it is Eco. And I don't know why. It is looking a different color, and it could be this Tomoe River paper, or it could just be that this ink is, because you do need to clean out pigment ink more often than not, and there isn't that much left, and I have another color that I want to put in this. So yeah, we're gonna set this one. I'm not gonna put this back in. I'm gonna set this one aside to clean it out here in a little bit. All right. Look at me trying to stay on task and be efficient because I know there's a lot of pens. All right, my next one here is my Eggplant. And now I do have 2. So this one is, which one is this one? I know that they're different nib sizes. This one is a broad. I want to see what this one, I think this one is a medium right now. Medium. So I will put both of them out, or will write for both of them. Okay, let's see here. I want to make sure that, okay. All right, so we'll start with the broad. So this is 15. And this is my Eggplant. TWSBI Eco in a broad nib. And this has Kobe's, I always get these numbers mixed up, but this is Kobe's Nuno Biki Lavender. I think it's 62. I can't remember, but this is one of my very favorite Kobe inks. I absolutely love it. So when I absolutely love an ink now, love an ink now, I have been putting them in my TWSBI Ecos, and that has been one of the ways that I just am like, I love this ink, so let's keep it in a pen, and that way I can have it in a pen all times. So I kind of moved to that. Now this one is a document ink, and I can't remember if it's Tom's Studio or De Atramentis. So what I want to do is I'm going to let that dry, and then I want to flip back and see and compare it, because I do have a swatch page with them both in here, because I can't remember. I'm doing an experiment with the different document inks to see which one I like the very best. Okay, so now I'm going to color here just to see which one this is, because this is when I did this. I think this is De Atramentis document. I think it's De Atramentis. It's not sketching because I don't have sketching in one. Yeah, it is. I can tell just by the color. It might be hard to see on camera, but Tom's Studio is like this super, super, super pigmented black, where De Atramentis is a little lighter in tone. Yep, so this is De Atramentis document black. I thought it was, but I didn't want to be like to say, yes, that's what this is, and then put it down, and then because I'm trying to have an experiment. More on that when I have that video. All right. But I will say, as I'm writing this, that De Atramentis document ink makes me mad. Not makes me mad, but it is one that is probably of them. It has so many color options, but it's probably my least favorite, just because when you highlight with it, it smears, and that really bothers me. And so I haven't been able to use this one in my planner as much, and so that's making me upset. But I usually have at least one or two of my TWSBIs with document ink. Right now, most of my document inks are in my diamonds, and I'm going to do a whole separate video on my diamonds. So yeah, those are my two eggplant ones. And then the next one I did was the transparent, but I already did that. I do have one more, and this one was also medium. I don't have it inked. I'm not going to ink it up for the sake of the video, but I do have another transparent purple because I really loved the transparent purple, and I wanted one for regular ink and one for to keep my sketch ink in at all times when I was using it. But yeah, I haven't inked that one up in a while. All right, and I am just going to write these two down at the end because they are my other two just silver hardwares. This is the jelly red. I call it transparent pink, but when I bought it, it was jelly red. But I love this one. I just don't have any ink in it right now, and I don't want to ink it up because I decided that when I got the carrying case, I'm only going to have that many inked, so that they're all in one place. So this one just hangs out in this little drawer that I have. And then this one is a fine nib, and it has the nib that it originally came with. And then here's my transparent one. It is just boring and transparent. This is the one that had the stub nib, but right now it's got the extra fine from the glow green. So those two I do have, and I wanted to mention that. So and one more, sorry, one more. What nib size are you? You are a fine. So then I have the transparent blue as well. I really like the transparent ones, and I was trying to collect all the transparents, but there are a couple that are just too pricey for me to get. So I'm okay on the transparents, unless I can find them for under what they want on AliExpress or eBay, because I'm not going to pay that price. But it'd be really cool to have the transparent green one. I really like the transparent green. But all right, let's move into my different colored hardwares. I'm very excited to move into these because these ones I think is where TWSBI really, really shines. All right. The Kelly Green Onyx is the only Onyx one I have in the Eco line. I think they have just the other one, the slate blue, and I have yet to get it, but it is one that I am going to get eventually. I just haven't yet. And I at first really didn't love this one, and I don't know why I didn't love it. I think that whatever ink I had in it was really dry, because this one is a broad, so it wasn't writing like a broad nib should, And so it really bothered me. And so this is the Kelly Green Onyx. And I think it writes almost like in between a broad and a medium, at least this one, which I've found usually the coated nibs write a little bit broader than normal. But yeah, not this one. I don't know. But I do like it now. This has one of my samples of Dominant Industries Fisherman at Sea. And this green, let me tell you, it is one that I have fallen head over heels for. I really like this green. But I only have a sample. And I'm not going to buy a bottle because I need to get through some of my other ones. But I want to. I really want a bottle of this one. And it's getting close. It's getting close because I think this is it for my sample. Yeah, but I do like that one. It's lovely. It is just lovely. I can't explain it why it's so lovely, but I like it. I like it so much. All right, this next one is my Serpentine Bronze that I love, but I love the color. I don't know how much I'm loving this Lost in the Leaves by Ferris Wheel Press. This was a medium nib, so I just am not loving the color of this. I thought I would, and I'm just not. So I think I am going to unink this one as well. But there's just so much ink in there. I think it is pretty much full. And I hate that, but I haven't reached for it at all. So I don't know yet. But I am not going to unink this one on this video because I am going to try to use it and see if I use it a couple days if I like it more. I don't know though, because I just got a sample of this really pretty Venta ink from Jess at My Magical Planner, and I want to use that one. Now this one also seems not like a medium, it seems like a fine. So maybe that could be where I'm struggling too, since this one is a shimmer ink. Maybe I'm just not loving it together. I don't know. But this one is Ferris Wheel Press's Lost in the Leaves. And I got just a little, like one of their little 10 milliliter vials, and I will not be buying a full bottle. So that's good to know. It's just not my favorite. I don't know. I like Autumn Forest so much better than this one. I thought I'd like this one because it's more saturated and it's just greener, and it's got more of a bronze, a bronzy shimmer versus the Autumn Leaves is more rosy and pink. But yeah, it's not my love, which is okay. But I love this pen. I love this pen, and I want to use it more. So I do think maybe even if I just put it in a sample vial, I don't know. Some days, like, so when I am emptying a converter, I don't have a problem just emptying ink. But when I'm emptying a TWSBI, I do, especially when I've filled it all the way. I probably shouldn't have filled this one all the way. I should have tried it first, but that's okay. Live and learn, right? Live and learn. All right, this next one is my Indigo Bronze. I actually just cleaned this out right before this video. And so I am not going to be able to put it in yet. There's still a lot of water in the section. And so I want to maybe get that out before I ink it up. But I will ink this up at the end of the video. I just wanted to show because it is my next one, like color order. That is my next one. So the Indigo Bronze, it has a medium nib. I love it. But we will ink that back up. I had Sailor Ink Studio 340 in it before, and I think I'm going to switch it up now. So I really loved Sailor Ink Studio 340, and I used, it was full. So I used a whole fill. Now we're getting into my loves. My Espresso Bronze. Oh, I love this one. Oh man, yes, I love my bronze ones, and I can't wait for my Affogato one to be here. I'm so excited. I have a couple different inks that I'm thinking about for it, and yeah, this is my Espresso Bronze. I love these so much. I think it's a common theme with everyone out there that These next three are our loves. So this one, I believe, is a medium. Yes. Yeah. And this has Robert Oster's Cafe Crema. It had to exist somewhere, right? I had it in my Cafe Bronze one for a long time, but then I put a different ink in there. You will see next. But yeah, this one I just love. I love these coffee colored ones. They make me happy, especially because I love these brown inks. And so I like having them, and I like having them full. You can see I had this all full when I filled it. So I just fill this up. And I may, once it's empty, I may go with a different ink, but probably not because I really like Cafe Crema. All right, here's my Cafe Bronze. Or yeah, my Cafe Bronze. So this is number 20. Which is my Cafe Bronze. This one, oh, I love this one. This one has the sweetest, smoothest, fine nib. Oh, I love it. Cafe Bronze. And this one has one of my other loves, which is Diamine Ochre. I have swapped out the ink, but usually it's in this color family. So these two usually have very similar inks, like color families. I do try to make it more dark in the espresso and make this one lighter. But I'd put ochre in here. This one had a darker ink. I forget what it was, but the espresso had a darker ink in it, and I was missing Cafe Crema, and this one has ochre. So yeah, I just put that in there. Another rose gold. Well, no, this one's the first rose gold, so not another, but this is another breakfast series, they call this, with the matcha. Matcha also, but it has different hardware. But this one is my cream rose gold, which is always, 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 always inked. And for a long time, it was swapping between Sailor Manyo Curry and Sailor Shikiori Kamoshika, but right now it has Birmingham Penco's Water Bear in it. So, which is a really interesting color. I wasn't sure I liked it at first, but I had some way I had contaminated it with a more pink, but it is a really weird color. I can't describe it, but it does, yeah, I don't know. It does weird things on different papers. So I'm not even going to try to describe it, but it's kind of a browny, pinky, weird tone. But it's in the same kind of vein as Curry and Kamoshika. So yeah, this has also had Kitsune Biori in it. I just kind of go with what I'm feeling, but right now it has Water Bear, and yeah, it's gonna need a new fill probably next month. But I've had that in since July, and it's going strong. So I like that one. That one's been really fun. This one on onion skin paper is really fun. I really like that on onion skin paper. My next one is my white rose gold, which was my first rose gold one. And when I got this, it had a stub nib on it. It right now has a medium nib because I wanted the medium nib for this ink. This is the Pelikan 4001 pink. Yeah, so this is my white rose gold. Is that a medium? Yeah, it is a medium. Okay. I've done so many broads that, yeah, but this Pelikan pink I just recently discovered, and I really like it. It's very wet, but it honestly is really similar, which is weird when it dries, because it's really bright when it first comes out, but it dries really, really close to Kobe's light rose, which is one of my favorite inks. So I decided to put this in a pen and put it in a TWSBI and use it. So, but I haven't used it. I haven't really used it because I just put it in last week, but that's okay. It happens. What's funny is that I had this Pelikan pink in another pen. So that's kind of what happens with my TWSBIs, is sometimes they overlap. But yes, I love that pink. And it was $8 for the whole Pelican bottle, which is awesome. Such a good price and such a good pink. Oh, why did I sleep on this for so long? I have no idea. I don't know, because I don't know. I think I was just really disappointed in my Pelican pen that I just kind of wrote off the whole brand, and I shouldn't have. I didn't really like my Amazonite pen that I got, the M205, and so I just kind of was like, Pelican's probably not for me. But uh, maybe they are. Okay, so this next one is my absolute favorite TWSBI. I love it so much that I have two. I decided, so I've had this one, this Smoke Rose Gold, and it actually, the medium nib for my Smoke Rose Gold is on my white one right now, just because I switched it for that ink purpose. That my white one, my white rose gold is a stub nib, was a stub nib, so I know that it has that. But I decided to get this one in a medium, and I've loved it. It is my favorite TWSBI. I love the smoke color. There is something about the smoke color that I love. I love this in my diamond. I love this in my Eco, and I did get the smoke in the swipe as well. But so I decided that because I love it so much, I did want another one, and this one is currently uninked because it has an extra fine. Like I've mentioned multiple times in this video, I go through extra fine phases, so I like to have a couple extra fines. So that one I won't write on this, but I'm going to make a note of those at the end here. But I will write this one, because this one is my stub nib right now, and it won't stay a stub. It will go back to the medium as soon as I decide that like I want to switch a different color into the pink. But right now, this is my Smoke Rose Gold with a 1.1, and this has Waringoule's Carmilla in it. And if you saw my currently inked for the week or last week, you will have seen that I have this also in a platinum Curidas, but I am really liking this ink. This is definitely one that I'm going to carry into spooky season and probably beyond, because I really like this color. So it is in there. I am enjoying it. I definitely find this ink to be very wet in the stub nib, which gives the really cool gray shading properties such a cool look. But yeah, I have a stub, and I may switch these around, but I really wasn't sure how well this pink was going to do with a big nib, since it is so wet. But maybe I should actually, while we're here, we're going to do a little switcheroony. Look at that. Beware of the mess, okay? Because I was just like, wait, my empty one is an extra fine, and because that ink is so wet, let's do it. So they come out real nicely, and they are going to be dirty, so I'm kind of trying to push this away. They are going to be wet, but I can keep this feed right here, and then I do have water, so all I'll have to do is just rinse this bad boy, get that color off, pat it dry. Yeah. Now, my question for myself is, do I want a stub nib or do I want an extra fine? I know that this one, because I don't want this one to be a stub. Yeah, okay. Just get a little bit of water, clean that off. Okay, so yeah, why would I have pulled up? Okay, I don't want a stub. I want to put the stub away. So that one's the clean one. I'll put the stub. So I love that TWSBI sets this up, like they literally have made these pens so you can take them apart and do these kind of things, which I love so much, that they've been so thoughtful in all of their design that you can do that. So I'll put that one away. And then you are the medium nib, and you are the extra fine. So let's do that. Oh, shoot. There's some residue in that water. Okay, let's clean that off. just a little bit. Just be very, very careful if you do these things with the feed. The feeds are very, very delicate. So I'm going to put an extra fine in here. And then we'll put the medium in there, because then I will use it back. So the medium is back where it belongs in my smoke rose gold. That makes me happy. Yeah, it's got this, like, if you've never taken a TWSBI apart, it's got this nice little place where the nib is supposed to aligns and just sits. Very nice that they do that, because then you can just, yeah. And then I'm going to put switched to medium. Yes, this is the stuff. You will see that I think I only have 2 or 3 stubs total, because they're just not my favorite. I don't love them. I don't hate them, but I don't love them. I think I have 2 stubs in this whole lineup here. And then I think I have 2 stubs in my diamond collection. So, but my diamonds, what's nice about my diamonds is that I actually bought the diamonds stubs separate, because you can buy the nib units. They are different than the Eco. I did discover that, but they are, yeah, they are different, but they're nice. So here we go. I'm going to move this. Oh, wait, no, I want to write. I'm going to write this down. Also have, so I know, also have a 1 smoke rose gold, and I'm going to put that, since the stub is on there, with a stub. 2 was the jelly pink, jelly red with a fine. 3 is transparent blue. I do this. I do. Sorry. Going back to kindergarten, right? I tend to do this. Oh, this is blue, transparent blue. I tend to do this every few months when I'm getting more TWSBIs, so I can see what nibs I have, so I'm not getting, and what I'm using the most. So then I can get more of that size nib, or if I'm lacking in nibs. That's why I got so many fines, because I was really lacking in fines. And now I have quite a few, so now I can look and see where the gaps are, and kind of go from there when a new color that I like is released. So yeah, I don't have a problem with having this many TWSBIs. Maybe some people think it's excessive, but I use them. So yeah, they're not these ones are not ones that just sit and look pretty on a shelf. These ones are my daily, everyday drivers. So I also have those. So that's good to know when I am looking at it. And I will put 24 here when we fill up that bronze here in a second. So there we go. But I'm going to move this so I can have a space for cleaning out that smoky mauve pen, because yeah, that's weird. I wonder if it is just the paper, or if it is the pen, or what's going on there, because that does not look like smoky mauve has ever looked before. Okay, I pulled out a piece of Midori paper and I'm coloring. Yeah, okay, smoky mauve looks normal. So it was just that paper. So, but I have plenty of other document inks right now filled. And do I want this one still with this? This is one of my favorite. So this is one of my favorite document colors. I think I'm going to keep it. I actually think I'm going to keep it. No, because I want to see how it cleans out, and I want to show you. So this is me, like, trying to figure this out. Should I do this? Should I do not? Yeah. But that's the right color. So it was just on, for some reason, for that color, or for that paper was coming up a different color, which is weird. All right, I have my spittle ink thing here. Yeah, let's get this out of there. tend to do this a couple times. So you can see my process. I'm pretty sure I have a full video on me cleaning Ecos, but I am doing this to see if how the Diamine Forever ink after a couple months, it's been in there a couple months, so how it cleans out, or just going through the process. I do want to take a little bit of this and have that there. And then there's my silicone grease, one of my wrenches. Oh yeah. Okay. I've done this a lot. Can you tell? This was really, really intimidatingly hard at first, but I have done this so many times now that I could probably do this in my sleep. Ha, there we go. Now, oops, see, even comes apart. I could even pull this thing off and still put it back together, but we're not going to do that today. That's not what we're doing. So back to the right space. Okay. Now, this one had some weird, oh, probably from that document ink. Okay. Okay, I do want to show you that Sailor Dip ink. I don't know if you can see, maybe you can't see, but the pigment is really large. And so when I dipped the water into this, the pigment was picking up on my feed, my other feed, so I did get some new water. I did want to say that, so just in case you're thinking about frankening a pen, just know that if you're doing that same thing with the like dipped in ink, I would definitely have one designated pen, because then you're not, switching pens. So I just switch this bad boy around, and then I nicely rub it and dry it off. Let's look in here. Let's look and see. There is no pigment from the Diamine Forever, which is nice. That's nice and clean. I'm going to grab a Q-tip here. I actually grabbed a few. I have these Q-tips with the weird pointy ends that I got recently. So then I'm going to dip my Q-tip in some water here, and then go in here and just scrub it. Oh yeah, look at that. And then here is what I do. There's probably a better way, but this is the way that I have found. And if somebody knows of a tool that I could do this with, I would really appreciate it. But I get this really, really, take that piece of paper towel, and I go in here just like this, and I get up in there and I clean it out. And I do this with every TWSBI all the time, so I have not had any problems, but there is. And then I'll dip it in some water. Oh, that smoky mauve is such a beautiful color though. Oh, I love it. Mauve has become one of my very favorite colors. Like Taranishi's Innocent Mauve. I love that color so much. Maybe I'll put that in here. I don't know. No, I know what I'm putting in here. Sorry. You will see. You shall see. Okay. This is a mess right now. So I think I might need to get my little, what do you call it? My bubble syringe thing, my ear syringe thing. Do I have it next to me? I thought I did. 1 second. Oh yeah, I did. It was just behind my coffee. Okay. Taking my thing. Look at the ink has stained it. It's fun. I will say that I think that Diamine Forever inks have cleaned out of my pens better because they are nano pigments than like Sketch ink and a couple of the other ones. But the yellow stains really bad. That is the one that does stain. But I have found that if I soak it for a while and then do all of this treatment, usually it gets back to the normal color. Sometimes I'll use a little bit of Dawn dish soap in here. But yeah, so where it is stained is pretty much right where the piston is. So it's not too bad though. And I know that that's going to happen with pigment inks. And I could take and go through here with my Q-tip and really, really rub at that gently. I am gently doing this. And that line will come off. but it does take a little bit of work to clean it, but it does clean really, really well, as you can see. That's why I hesitate putting this pigment ink, unless it was like a designated pen, putting this pigment ink in something besides a TWSBI or something that you can take apart, because I like to get in there and really get that clean. Especially because I'm not going to put a pigment ink back in it right now. I have a different ink in mind. I'm really excited about it. So yeah. All right. And then this, look at that. Look at that stained pigment. So I'm going to take my wet Q-tip. Actually, I can take this off. Take that off now. I'm going to take my wet Q-tip and just go in there very gently and scrubbity scrubbity. And then look, it's all clean. And I can dip it in water to make sure. It's not clean right here, so hold it very gently so I don't mess with the tines. And just apply very little pressure, almost none. Just let it touch and just let it rub back and forth. Treat that nib real nice, but it does come off. All that pigment is gone. All right, dry that thing off. Sometimes you just have to give your pens a bath, right? Okay. So there it is, clean and beautiful. This doesn't need anything. I might dunk this, since it was staining around that piston, and clean that off. And then get in there with the silicone grease, since that will need some greasing. I like to really get in there with that silicone grease. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I do want to show it is a little bit purple right in here, but I found that even regular non-pigment inks can leave that residue, especially pink inks will leave that. So I'm used to that. You can't tell once an ink is in here. So I did want to say that. All right, let's get this thing back together. So I'm going to make sure that I have this all put together right before I put it away. There's this little place where you stick the hardware, the little wrench. So this needs to be aligned right next to that, like right on top of it. And then you stick your, I don't know what you call this thing. You stick this piece in there because this connects. Then you put it back in. Oh, I need some more silicone grease. That is not enough. Put it back on this part because I did clean it. When you clean it, like I just did, and you know, scrub it, you're scrubbing away all that grease to make sure that it moves properly. So that's why I really grease it up. So I like to clean that because sometimes ink gets stuck in there. There we go. Now put this thing back in there, and to take it off I pull towards me, and to put it back on I pull away from me. I think sometimes I have a hard time remembering. Do I twist it this way? This is the one part that's kind of difficult. So there we go. I just have to play it away from me. It is away, but you have to get it connected. Now I don't want to twist it too much and hurt my pen, so I make sure, and then I make sure that it doesn't come up when I twist it. Perfect. I got it just fine, because that's where the cracking happens, is when you're when you push too hard or you like turn it too much. So you just want to be really gentle. And then grab my feed that is completely clean of pigment. I love it. Love to see it. I can tell that it's clean, at least I think. If I wipe it, yeah, there's just a little pigment in the water, but that's normal with any color. So all right, now find that little space where that goes on there, and Voila. There it is, back together. And now I'm going to do that. We're going to move this stuff in. I'm very excited for this color. This is my one and only bottle of Kitty Inkpot ink because I'm pretty sure that it's going to be absolutely difficult to get now with all the tariffs. And this bottle was not cheap. I got it off AliExpress. I ordered it in July and it finally came. I had been seeing swatches of it and said, yep, I just want a whole bottle. And so I was going to order it from so-and-so. I don't remember why I didn't and why I just went. I think because I wanted to justify ordering from so-and-so. Maybe I didn't order in July. Maybe I did order it in August. But either way, I was going to order it from so-and-so. And then I was trying to justify getting just one bottle of ink from Australia and paying shipping. And then I was adding some samples to my cart, and then they announced that they weren't going to ship to the US for a while. So yeah, I ended up just buying the one bottle from AliExpress. So, but it took a while to get here. It did really take a while. So now, come on, be friends with me, be kind. There we go. All right. So 24, or no, we're gonna go like this since it was the smoky mauve. Okay. Glow purple, TWSBI Eco with a medium, and this is Kitty Inkpot's fluffy wool ball. I am very excited about this ink. It is one that shifts from pink to purple, and it's so pretty. It's so weird. Or not pink to purple, pink to blue. So it all the swatches online made it look so cool. And so the pink stays on the inside, and then when it dries, and it takes a while to dry, but when it dries, the blue comes out, and it's so lovely. So yeah, I did want to get that in the pen, and I thought for that would be perfect. And it is kind of mauve-y, which is fun, but the Kitty Inkpot inks are so fascinating. All right, now I need to go pick my ink for this bad boy, and we will be done. All right, in this one, I am going to go with Wearing Ghoul Dorothy. I have not put this in a pen yet, and I really like this color, and I think it is another moody blue. So we're just going to fill this bad boy up. Now I tend to fill it and then get all the air bubbles out like this, because there are so many air bubbles right now, especially when you get from a sample. And then I just go back and forth, up and down, watching the air bubbles in the feed. This is what I do. And sometimes I go too far and the ink pops out, and sometimes it gets all over me, and sometimes it doesn't. But this at least gets those air bubbles out, because otherwise these tend to do like the burping or the farting or whatever you want to call it. See, there we go. Just farted. Oh. And then you just don't get a full fill either. This is a process. Oh my gosh. Why are you being such a punk? Too many air bubbles. That's really bothering me. If I go slower this time. I just emptied it all out back in there. Oh, there we go. I just went too fast. There we go. That's a good fill. Sometimes you just gotta start over, right? I'm very sad to hear that Wearing Gould discontinued this ink. They discontinued, I'm pretty sure they discontinued their entire Wizard of Oz line. So if it's one that you want, I would grab it since it will be hard to get here soon. But yeah, I got a full bottle of this one because I loved it. I just haven't put it in a pen. And then I saw that they discontinued it, so I grabbed a bottle because I do not want to be on the end of, oh, well, they discontinued this ink and I love it, because I do love this. It's like a moody purpley blue, almost denim-y. If you know a dupe for it, great. Please tell me, because I hate when I get a color that I love and then it discontinues, or you find it after it's discontinued. So yeah, I was looking at Wearing Gould's site the other day and saw that they discontinued all their Wizard of Oz ones. Indigo Bronze, TWSBI Eco, medium, and this is Wearing Gould Dorothy. Yeah, that is a lovely, lovely blue. I'm so excited to have that in a pen and use it. So there we go, Wearing Gould Dorothy. Love it, love it. Where did my lid go? Okay, so there is my full collection of TWSBI Ecos. I don't have any more Ecos coming to me. I am looking at the slate blue Onyx that may be joining my collection. And the Affogato is coming to me, so that one will be the next one in my collection. And who knows what's coming in September. I don't think they had a pen in July, but oh man, I love their pens so much. They are some of my very favorites. And there's a reason. They're just so convenient and nice. And okay, I lied about Fluffy Wool Ball. It's blue inside and pink halo, which is so cool. It's such a weird color. I love it. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So it is lovely. All right. That is everything for today. Let me know, are you a big Eco fan? Do you have a TWSBI Eco yet? Do you have this many? I have 24 plus 5, 29 Ecos. So that's only my Ecos. And I will be doing my Diamond 580s in another video. And I do have quite a few of those too. So needless to say, I feel like I am a big Eco fan. And so I am a big TWSBI fanatic. I also have 3 swipes, and those, I'm not going to do a whole video on them because they are a newer pen and I'm still getting to know them, but I do have 3 of them. And so they only have like 4 colors out of them. So I'm pretty sure I'm almost to all of the colors. But yeah, I'm a color person. I love inks. I love playing. And these are a really great way to have an ink and really get to know it. And I find that if it doesn't work in my Ecos, it's probably an ink that's not going to work in a lot of pens. So that's that. But again, your mileage may vary. I don't find that Ecos like a lot of shimmer inks, where some people find that they're really good with shimmer. In this whole list, I think I have 2, maybe 3 shimmers total. So if that gives you an idea, I don't think Ecos do well with shimmer inks, but some people think so, especially in the stub. I've had not great luck with stubs and the shimmer, but it just depends on the pen. So anyway, that is everything. Let me know down in the comments if there's anything that you want to share with me. We can have a chat. I try to get to comments as often as possible. I'm trying to do a better job of it now than I used to. So yeah, and if you don't want to do any of that, but you just want to help me boost my video, leave me a emoji of some kind of yarn, since I just got Fluffy Wool Ball and it's so cute. I love that. I love that bottle. How cute is that bottle? All right. And like, subscribe, you know, all the things. Links are down in the description, and I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.